Coming up on Nightly News, the Board of Trustees meets this Thursday to discuss student housing refunds in the wake of COVID-19. We'll tell you what you need to know prior to the meeting. Stocks continue to be affected by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And UCF athletes and coaches responded to their seasons being impacted by the outbreak of COVID-19. Here are the teams and individuals are coping with the decision. Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Partain and today is March 25th, 2020. Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer and Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings issued a stay-at-home order for all residents of Orange County on Tuesday afternoon. This order asks residents to stay home for all non-essential business. The stay-at-home order begins on March 26th at 11 p.m. and will last until April 9th. Essential businesses include going to grocery stores or pharmacies for food and other essential items, takeout at restaurants, medical appointments, and to care for a family member or loved one. Activities prohibited under the order include going to work unless you're providing essential services, visiting friends without an apparent need, and being within 6 feet of someone else when out. The order does allow for outdoor walks and activities when abiding by the 6-foot social distancing guidelines. Now let's take a look at the current case numbers of COVID-19 in Central Florida and the rest of the state. As of Wednesday afternoon, the state of Florida currently reports 1,682 confirmed cases of COVID-19. There have been 22 deaths across 12 counties, including 2 here in Orange County. The state also reports 316 hospitalizations, and an additional 2,647 people are under surveillance. As of Wednesday afternoon here in Orange County, there are 27 newly confirmed cases of COVID-19, bringing the total to 77 confirmed cases, including those 2 deaths mentioned earlier. Seminole County reports 29 cases, which is an increase of 6 confirmed cases from yesterday. Osceola County confirmed 9 new cases, with the county now up to 35 total. And Brevard County confirmed 2 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total up to 11 confirmed cases in the county.
After lots of speculation, the UCF Board of Trustees will meet this Thursday to discuss refunds for students for the weeks that they weren't allowed to live on campus. Chad Bennett, UCF's Vice President of Communications, wrote in a statement that this refund would go to students living in residence halls and other housing communities like Towers and Rosen. He said, "Once decisions are reached, we will share this information with our students, as well as continued ways the university will support them during this difficult time. Students living in privately owned facilities like Union West downtown are not guaranteed refunds. Keep up with Nightly News this Friday for the latest on the refunds."
The stock market continues to feel the effects of the coronavirus. Congress and the White House are deliberating a $2 trillion economic package to help affected industries. This includes small businesses and airline industries. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and other stocks are down on the year compared to last year. Nicholas Castro is a UCF graduate student who invests in the stock market and expected something like this to happen.
That you should be aware of, but it's not something that you'll be surprised of, if you know what I mean. Like, you should have been expecting this.
Financial experts say social distancing takes a toll on the economy as people try to keep a safe distance from each other. The virus has changed all aspects of life within the United States, including traveling and getting groceries. Investments in the markets are also impacted and it's starting to trickle down in people's wallets. The market temporarily closed the trading floor and moved to all electronic trading after 2 people tested positive for the virus. Castro says he prefers to wait and see what happens to the market in the coming days.
I'm not going to sell nor retire. I'm not going to do so. I prefer to wait and see what happens. But maybe I'm going to invest even more.
Financial analysts hope that the markets can recover the gains that it lost, even if the markets continue to deal with uncertainty. Reporting in Orlando, I'm Marcel Dewey, UCF Knightly News.
This morning, the Florida Board of Governors unanimously approved Alexander Cartwright as UCF's 6th president. The Board of Governors is responsible for approving presidential selections based off of individual schools' Board of Trustees. Earlier this week, the UCF Board of Trustees also approved Cartwright, one of 2 finalists for the position. COVID-19 has brought an unprecedented amount of change to UCF's 2020 spring semester, which has brought a lot of feedback from students. I reached out to NSM Today's life editor Sarah Harden to get an in-depth report about what her reporters are telling her on student reactions.
So Sarah, first things first, with that insight of yours, can you kind of tell me what kind of students are saying about this whole situation?
Well, first of all, now that everything is virtual, it's definitely uprooted everyone. We're not used to social distancing. So far, from my sources and reporters, are saying that students aren't very, excited, or they feel like they're not getting that hands-on experience that they are hoping for. Almost like they're being gypped of their college life, So it's definitely a struggle that students are coming back and saying this isn't the most fun experience for them.
And speaking of concerns and everything for students, what is kind of that major concern, the biggest concern that students have during this time?
Well, it seems like the main concern is money, since all on-campus jobs and a lot of jobs, just everywhere everyone's out of a job, so their students are trying to figure out how they're going to pay for rent, how they're going to pay for their next meal, especially when they're just trapped, in a room. They're not really certain of how they're going to be able to afford living during this pandemic.
So what is open? What facilities and areas are open for students to be able to use on campus at this point?
Well, right now we know that the RWC isn't open, but the student health services is, and that might be something that a lot of people don't know about. So according to our sources, one of my reporters knows that they do have the test kits at the student health services. So if you are afraid that you might have come in contact, still on campus health services is open.
A UCF student is under self-quarantine after he believes he contracted the COVID-19 virus. UCF student Nikhil Foy says he couldn't imagine spending his spring break quarantined. Foy says he may have contracted the virus from his uncle who was on a recent business trip. He says that a few days later he started showing symptoms. Foy says that he is following protocols from the CDC to make sure he doesn't spread the virus to others. He also says that the self-quarantine is hard for him, but that he will continue to do it to make sure his family isn't at risk.
Honestly, it's been hard on me. I know I shouldn't go outside. I've been wanting to go check on my family, but I don't want to spread it to them. My parents are getting older now, so I know their immune systems are weaker than mine. I'm already starting to get a little bit worse with the symptoms I've been showing.
Foy says he plans to get tested for the virus this weekend at a nearby testing center. In Orlando, Stephen Parchment, UCF Knightly News.
4 digital workshops designed to get faculty up to speed with remote instruction took place Tuesday through Friday last week. These workshops, run by the Division of Digital Learning, teach faculty the basics on how to lecture students online and get their courses up and running. Tom Kavanagh, the Vice Provost for Digital Learning, says the division did not expect the transition to happen so quickly.
We had conversations back then about what if we had to put everybody online. We never really had to enact those plans. I will say that this has been accelerating at a pace much faster than any of us had anticipated. But the good news is I think UCF is in a much better position than a lot of other schools.
During the workshops, teachers were shown how to use Zoom, a teleconferencing software allowing for students and teachers to hold lectures and use tools for demonstration purposes. In the upcoming weeks, the division plans to hold workshops about specific Zoom features. Kavanagh also mentioned over 86% of UCF students in the previous academic year took at least one full or blended academic course online. Janan Acosta, technical support specialist, says she witnessed some students' uncertainty via social media with remote instruction.
Actually, I think it is a little tough for students right now, but we are definitely going to start reaching out to students a little bit more.
For more information about remote instruction, head over to nsmtoday.com. In Orlando, Tiana Sconiers, UCF Nightly News.
Hello everyone, my name is Milan Martinez and I'm here at the Econ Sandhills Conservation Area to let you all know that as of effective Monday, all state parks in the state of Florida have been closed. And as far as beaches go, we don't have very many options. Brevard County and Flagler County have been closed, as well as Sarasota County, Fort Lauderdale area, Broward County, Miami-Dade County, Duval, Nassau, Panama City Beach, and Santa Rosa County have all been closed. So I just wanted to let you guys know, stay safe and stay home. But now let's take a quick look at today's weather forecast to see what we have coming up for you guys. Today's high is 85 degrees with humidity at 50%. The winds are coming out of the west at about 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 20. The chance of rain is 0%. Tonight's low is 67 degrees with humidity at 44%, and the winds are coming out of the west still at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and the chance of rain is also 0%. Now we'll go into our nightly news sports update.
Orlando City SC's seasons have been postponed due to the outbreak of COVID-19. Since the MLS announced the season suspension, the organization has responded to the situation. Orlando City SC CEO Alex Leitao put out a statement saying, "Our top priority as a club is the health and safety of everyone from our players, employees, and fans. We are clearly dealing with an unprecedented health crisis and remain committed to keeping everyone within our club and community safe." Leitao says the organization will continue to work with health officials and the CDC. Orlando City SC will continue to make upcoming announcements on their upcoming seasons when the time is appropriate. Since the cancellation of spring sports seasons, several UCF athletes and coaches have addressed the situation. Here's what a few of them had to say. UCF rowing junior Tatum Cox says, "Through it all, the coaches have been a rock for both me and the team. They all have been so calm in the face of all of this, and I don't think I would have gotten through it without them." Track and field junior Ciara Holbeck says, "I was heartbroken and upset, but I knew it was happening for a reason, and it was bigger than me." And UCF women's soccer head coach Tiffany Roberts-Sahadak says, "While we are disappointed that we will not have the chance to continue our spring schedule as planned, my heart goes out to all of the student athletes, coaches, and support staff whose seasons were halted. Together we must do our part to put public health and safety first to help reduce spread and severity of COVID-19. In Orlando, Kyle Partain, UCF Nightly News.
In lighter news, the UCF men's basketball team signed a new player for its upcoming season in Isaiah Adams. Adams was the Florida Dairy Farmers Class 4A Player of the Year, and he also led Paxton to consecutive Florida High School Athletic Association Final Fours. He averaged almost 24 points a game and 11 rebounds, and he's also the second player to sign with UCF. That's all our time for right now. Thanks for watching. If you want to follow and keep up with everything that's going on during the week, you can follow us on our YouTube channel at UCF Nightly News. And if you got a story idea, send it our way. You can reach us at nightlynewsucf@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.